Okay, we seem to be live. We hope we're live. I know some of you don't just want to hear about boots, so here we go. With a Friday video, which is, I guess, better than doing a Monday video, which is, it depends on the topic. I don't know. So I wanted to do a thing about plaid shirts, and I decided not to include that in this because this is already going to be kind of a long-winded way to say that I bought 4 shirts, although I did get more than 4 shirts, and of course that one video was already 2 weeks ago, episode 30 or 353, about the nautical sweaters. So that polo shirt I didn't include, even though it's, or a rugby shirt rather, even though it's similar to a polo shirt because it's more of the polo style weave, if I can get the thing to focus, than the more t-shirt weave. So if you can see there you go. With the texture, so this was the LL Bean one that I already had from last year. So cut to the chase, I got 2 more of this style in different colors in a different size to see if I like the large better. But before I show those, for whatever reason, I wanted to talk about polo shirts briefly again for those who are new to the channel or don't really know that much about polo shirts. This style, what I was hoping is that they will be a little more rugged or durable or whatever than some of the other ones I'll show in a minute that I've shown before in other videos. The nautical playlist particularly. But this one, it has a little bit of extra fabric. I've had other shirts that were constructed kind of like this before, and I typically don't necessarily like that extra weight, like when I go to lie down or something, but when I'm wearing them, it's usually not that nitpicky of a deal. So I got these even though they were a little bit more costly, although I think I got sale prices. I don't remember if I got this one for a sale price or not. But I liked the contrast colors and all that kind of thing. So at the time, I thought about getting the white one and didn't. And now the bright blue one is on special. I don't know what sizes are still available, but I didn't really want that bright of a blue. And I didn't want anything that was too close to what I already had, mostly. But in the past, just like I said, a recap, I have like bamboo that's supposed to be like moisture wicking and all that, but I don't wear this one all that much. Although I suppose in the coming weeks with the, the heat waves and all that, maybe I'll throw this back into the rotation and try and do a comparison and see how it holds up against the standard kind of cotton options. But I think this one lies, like the bamboo content is not very high or something. I think it's mostly polyester. I forget exactly. I can't even read it because it's got this subdued writing. You might be able to read that easier than I can. Let me try it with the light. Yeah, that's like not going to happen. I cannot really read that very easily. But I know I've read it before a long time ago and just forgot. But then also I have the more t-shirt style things in a couple of colors. Always good video when you're off camera for, extended period of time. But, just a standard jersey, but with the ribbed collar. So again, just distorting. Maybe you can see a little better with the heather and the this and the that. So this is just a regular cotton, not a poly blend, but it also still has that extra fabric up here in the neck area anyway. So again, similar, just, I don't even know if I'd call it lighter weight, so which is just a different weave, different texture. So this is, a little bit softer, but it also has extra seams, give and get. Not all of them will be like that, etc., etc., etc. But these ones, again, I had gotten a few years ago, and I wearing them a little bit. Oh, these ones also had fit a little smaller. I got these in extra large, and their idea of extra large is, probably a little skimpy under the arms and that kind of thing. But I've worn them recently, comfortably enough. And then, of course, the one I was wearing also recently, another really light cotton one. This one actually cost a lot for what it is, but because it looks that classic Italian Riviera guy, kind of early 60s vintage throwback deal. It's got a little bit of the madras for that extra yoke. So a lot lighter weight, more there for show than much reinforcement. This one in a large that actually fits. So runs a little bit bigger. And I forget who made this, where I got this from. I've had it just for a while. And then, of course, these inexpensive kind of ones that I just got this one back out of the bin for wearing in the I mean, technically I would consider this an autumn color, but it's not quite the exact same thing as the salmon red. It's more of a true peach or even an apricot, I guess. But again, with the ribbed collar, but with a closer weave to the more expensive bean one. And so again, try and do more of the head-to-head between these and those as much as possible, because the fabric is more similar to trying to figure out if the bean ones are worth the extra money, I guess, because these were not that expensive, but they're also not that elegant or refined. They're just straight up plain old polo shirts. And so this is the exact same company as the peach one in a light blue. So I've been wearing this one a bit recently, whereas the other one, like I said, I just got that. Oh, hello, goodbye, viewer, whoever you were. I don't know what you can see in less than 3 seconds. Why did you click on it at all in the first place? I don't know. So the other one will be the transition. So the new shirts, basically, I got the gray, the new color with they all have navy blue collar, I guess, to save time. I don't think there was any other color choice. But this is the Casco Bay. And of course, obviously I haven't tried it on yet, so I don't know if the large fits how I want it to. We'll find that out later. But I didn't bring in the bag. So this is technically an unboxing for what it's worth. But yeah, kind of a not quite steel gray, sort of in that range color that I figured I'd wear during the June gloom or the May gray time. But when the weather cools off again, I might end up wearing it sooner than later in the late summer anyway, just to, again, compare it to the other blue one. A new viewer. Hello, new viewer. Yeah, I have the chat turned off for this because I don't want this to be an endless video. And then the color that I was going to get last year, I got it finally just to get it, the white. I had really said, okay, do I want to pay extra for a white shirt? But it's kind of an off-white. What do they call it? Silver birch, whatever that means. Is that a type of a tree? I don't know. So silver birch. So it's not an optic white, so it is not as blinding bright as a couple of those other less expensive polos that, again, I've showed. And if you go to that nautical playlist, they're in there somewhere. And I had done nautical necessities, Oxford cloth shirts 2 months ago, and I got 22 whopping views, which means like 2 of you watched it for more than a second or something. And then I did the Preppy Ivy style video last November or whenever it was, episode 245. And coming up soon, we'll be talking about the Magnum PI. So that was episode 230. And then the previous summer reset was 227, but Capitan Core being 208. And then some other stuff. I don't remember what 197 was. Classic outfit looks. Yeah, you might want to watch that one too. I don't know. And then other ones about Hawaiian shirts and blah, blah, blah. Number 69, number 68. I was wearing this shirt in the thumbnail for that one. And so forth and so forth. Anyway, so I'm not going to list all of them, but to give you an idea. So, yeah, maybe post pictures in the community menu when I finally get around to trying those on. Again, as opposed to the extra large that is pretty close to my correct size, but I've been losing a bit of weight, and so maybe going forward I'll want the large ones, or maybe they'll look terrible on me and I'll have to exchange them. We'll see. But so transition then from the polo shirts to the Hula shirts, or the Hawaiian shirts, or the Hawaiian print shirts, or the Aloha shirts, or whatever 50 other names they now have. The bridge being, I had bought two shirts from another company that were both Hula shirts, but the one, oh, my viewer's already bailed, but I got a like from probably Rich. Okay, thanks. So I didn't really like the fabric, and it was a similar pattern to this one that was inexpensive that I already had, that I haven't even worn yet, but it's black, so you know it's a nighttime shirt for me, more up likely. And I was gonna wear it for this video, but then I didn't want to have to do separate wash for one shirt or something stupid, so just wearing this one again. But so I like that pattern, and it was similar but more subdued, less colors, and that didn't bother me that much, but it didn't have as much, it didn't have like the green in it. It was kind of like black and white, kind of a two-tone almost, which is kind of an odd Hawaiian shirt concept. But it didn't bother me that much. But the fabric itself, I hated the feel of it, kind of. It was kind of that rough, you'd have to wear a t-shirt under it kind of fabric. So I ended up sending that back, and at the same time I was able to get this one for actually $10 less. But the downside is it's not a full button, it's another polo shirt, so not necessarily what I was on the market for. And it's kind of a heavyweight polo shirt, and it says 100% cotton, but it has kind of a stiffer feel to it, a little more than this, although it might be a similar weave. It's hard to really tell because it has so much texture with all this cross hatching and such going on, so I don't know if you'll be able to really tell the weave, but kind of a chambray-ish. And so this is, so if you can imagine this in black and white being less impressive, I thought this was a much nicer pattern and saved $8 or whatever. So yay. So another polo shirt, even though it's also a Hula shirt or a Hawaiian print shirt or an Aloha shirt. And also more expensive than I usually want to spend, but I did also get this one in extra large. I think it's a little bit big. I don't know. I don't know if I should have got this in a large or not. Again, if I lose weight, I might regret this one, but it might also shrink being cotton. We'll see how that goes. But of course, if I wash it, I can't return it. But you know, I could always get a seamstress to take in a bit, but that's not usually cost effective. They usually want about $50 to do something like that. And the shirt, you know, do I like it that much? I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it in the dryer first and see how it goes. So anyway, so that's another polo shirt from a guy who typically complains and doesn't like polo shirts, but you know, I like to have a few around. Now I have a few extra. See how it goes. So my other one that I got, this one I had to return, which is why I returned the other one and just got the refund, because the print, they had done such a lousy job where when I got it, the whole front up here was all solid, and then the print was down here, and like the part where you tuck or don't want to call attention to your, you know, midriff or whatever. And then the design looked okay on the back. And if it had been a $20 shirt, maybe I wouldn't have cared. Maybe I just would have ordered a second one. But for a linen shirt that is now, you know, $100, and the whole reason I'm buying it is mostly because it's linen, because I already have some shirts in this color, and it's not 100% linen. It's 90 something linen and something else, I think. I don't know. I can't read it. It's tiny. Maybe it says like 38 linen. Yeah, I think it's like 30 linen, cotton, and tencel. So it's not It's not even 100% linen, but it's a decent amount. I can't even barely read that. This is 15. I'd have to get a magnifying glass. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. It's vintagey and throwbacky, and yet another Hula shirt out of the 800 million Hula shirts that I have. But yeah, so for the price, I definitely wanted a pattern that was going to be, you know, show me the pattern. Why can I not read this? Okay, so cotton, it says cotton twice. Oh, I'm reading in French. That's why. Okay. It's printed twice on the tag, but it is, yeah, about 30% each. Whatever tencel is, I don't know. I don't know if that's a natural fiber or not, but the other shirt that I returned was more tencel and maybe no linen or maybe no cotton. I don't remember. Something like that. So anyway, so that's my summer shirts, even though, you know, I might not wear a couple of these at all because I have so many other shirts that sometimes they get neglected for a year, like this guy that, you know, I finally wore that one, and the blue one again I've been wearing. So anyway, that's about it. Like I said, the video is a little bit longer than I actually thought it was going to be because I tried to read tags, which is always a bad decision. And so yeah, as always, you can check out the Buy Me a Pizza or Buy Me a Coconut or Pineapples or something, I don't know, feature in the Buy Me a Coffee thing. And I wanted to read this, though, before I totally sign out, before I forget again. This was a comment that I caught from a couple of years ago on an Iron Snail video. So Goboogeeee says, sometimes a tasteful Aloha shirt can add a little pop to an outfit. The right one can set off a linen suit or give off World War II GI vibes when worn with jeans and aviators. Tori Richards makes some Aloha shirts that are a little more on the chic side and a little less. I'm a 50-something retiree. I drive a yellow Camaro. My playlist is only Jimmy Buffett. In fact, I'm on my way to a Margaritaville Cruise right now. And by the way, I only wear Aloha shirts. Well, you know what? That described me to a T way back when I was in like my 20s and 30s already, and kind of high school too. Although I wasn't really into Jimmy Buffett in high school. That came like later. Yeah. And then this other stuff in the, what video was this? I posted this in episode 355, the Midsummer Reset, because I was going to add it in there and then I didn't. So I'm not going to read all of it now either, but I'll repost most of it here just for giggles. But they were making fun of him. Like the Fitzy said, you are from Cape Cod and you can't dress for summer. Does anyone else think something smells fishy? Pun intended. So that was funny. And then they bashed on some of the other shirts that he was advertising. And then this guy, I don't have much better solutions for you than other channels do, but Impendio said, I wish someone had good fashion tips and recos for actual tropical places. Like people from northern latitudes have notions about summer as just the season, something that comes and goes and you just have to survive it, yada, yada, yada. I just can't wear any of this kind of stuff. Here it rains every day, you know, or here it rains 3 days for 8 months, and then we live at 30 degrees Celsius, which I guess is 90 something degrees, and also 80% humidity. It just ruins leather in a snap, and your technical raincoat kills you because it's hotter and wetter wearing it, you know, than just getting wet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't have solutions for you guys. That's like, yeah, intentionally don't move to places like Thailand or something. So I don't know what to tell you. I need this channel and I don't know if it exists. Yeah, probably not. Most of the people that I've seen from those tropical areas are still showing clothes that they bought in America or to look like an Northeast Preppy or an English Preppy or something. He continues, and no, you can't just live your life in swimsuits for as much as anyone would want, because then you get into an air-conditioned place and it's 18 Celsius, which I guess is 40 degrees. I don't know. Yeah, well, we have that same kind of problem in you know, the US too, but at least we have air conditioning, and at least you do too, because otherwise you might be suffering what they don't survive in France and England sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a polo shirt in this fabric might be a little too warm for you still. Don't know what to tell you. And of course, as always, boycott Tinder. Boycott the crap out of Tinder. They don't deserve your money. They don't. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna debate. Should I put the hat back on like I wore in the other video? I left it off. I left off the other one too because it's a little more yeehaw. So whoever's tuning in now, you've reached the end. You'll have to watch it from the beginning. I am officially signing off now that I talked for an extra 5 minutes, even more than the other extra 5 minutes.